Hi everyone. I think it is, let me just check. It's Sunday, the 1st of August. Okay, cool. Welcome everyone. So we've taken a little bit of a diversion. We had some technical difficulties last night because of the lockdown and that sort of thing. Hi everyone. Hi Tanil. Hi Dean. Hi everyone that's waving and all that sort of stuff. Thank you for joining in. So we're doing one tonight, and we've got Mimsy Gleason from Trailer Trash Tattoo up in Queensland. Queensland's just gone into a snap 3-day lockdown, and we really kind of hope for all those guys and girls up there that it's going to be quick. So let me just bring Mimsy into the room, and we will see where tonight takes us. So she's an amazing lady, an amazing artist. Runs an amazing studio and as equally as an amazing story. So we'll go through the Mimsy.
Hello.
How you doing?
Great. So good to see you.
Yeah, no, this is cool. This is cool. Thanks for joining us tonight. I think it's going to be fun.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
It's going to be cool. How's the weather up there? Another sunny Queensland evening.
It got hot today.
Warm.
Yeah.
It was actually pretty warm down here too. It was like 23, 24.
Yeah, I don't like winter, but today was real summery. It was beautiful.
Nice. So you guys have gone into your little snap lockdown. How's the general mood? Like, obviously, hopefully it's over sooner than later.
Yeah, well, it hasn't actually really I don't think it's affected too many people because it's just like a regular Sunday. I don't think. Yeah. Probably most tattooers probably don't work even on a Sunday. But I think it would be a miracle if we don't extend it. So I think, you know what the mood is. It's not the best.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it's soon. My dad's in the Beenleigh area, and my mum's in Southport. So they're like, oh yeah, but they're retired now, so it's sort of, I think, retired life anyway, so it doesn't affect them so much.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, I think that their generation are quite cautious as well during the lockdowns, aren't they? They're probably just hunkered in and staying away from people. Yeah, totally. Cool. All right, so let's get this show on the road. This has been a pretty much anticipated one. Like I said to you on the phone, I wanted to get you on, and I saw with this lockdown a good opportunity. And a lot of people DM me who they'd like to see on it, and your name has come up quite a lot. So I think it's under the circumstances, it's a win-win situation for a Sunday evening. Thank you people for requesting me. I think you're crazy. You'll probably regret it, but I'll do my best.
All right, so let's start off. Where did it all begin? What was the first tattoo you got? What made you think, oh, tattoos are cool, I want one? And what studio and what artist was it?
Well, probably boringly, I wish I had a more exciting story, but I waited till I was 18. That was very sensible of me. But yeah, the day I turned 18, I was at the studio on my 18th birthday, and I spent, because I was unemployed at the time, I was just sitting at home, and I spent months designing my own tattoo.
Amazing.
Like an idiot. And I filled sketchbooks full of designs and took them to an artist who I had been to many times before, because I had been drawing designs for people who then took them to him. So I'd seen a lot of his work. And his name is Don Johnson from Immortal Image in Wynnum.
Yeah, wow.
Absolute legend. So he was very lovely and encouraging of me, even though I took him my own design, which is so insulting, but he was so supportive, and as I was talking to him, he was really encouraging me and suggesting that I should start drawing some flash, and broaching the idea of maybe getting into tattooing,
cool.
because I'd already been drawing quite a few designs for people. They'd been commissioning me. So yeah, Immortal Images at Wynnum, Don Johnson, absolutely.
Yeah, amazing. And you know what? I'm not surprised when you say that about Don, because he comes from a tattoo family, and he was like one of the younger groundbreaking artists that back in the day when custom work wasn't like it is today. So, you know, it was still walls lined with flash and all the rest of it. So, you know, power to him, man. And he's still powering today. He's yeah, such a OG.
Yeah, he was an absolute king of tattooing in Brisbane at the time. So
Yep.
yeah, it's great to see him back. Yeah,
Yep.
create magic again. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. So, what was the design?
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. Okay, so in those days, I was quite well known for designing really 90s style, like gems with swirly things coming off them.
Yep.
um,
Yep.
no shade to that style. It's just, yeah, that's what I was doing at the time. And yeah, so it's like, yeah, just like a swirly pattern, like gem with like patterns coming off it. I've had it covered since. Yeah,
It
so
happens. It happens. You know, yeah, you know, you run out of room. So, you know, yeah. But no, that's cool. That's cool. So, were you involved then in, like, was music a big part of your life then, like the rock and roll style scene, or?
yeah, I think it was as I was coming into tattooing, I discovered as well. I sort of sought out and gravitated to this new style of subculture that I had never really noticed before, and that was like rockabilly, psychobilly, sort of 50s culture. And the minute I noticed that culture, I knew that was cool and that I had to be part of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
amazing.
the music followed with that.
Yeah, cool. So when I'm going to go back a little bit, when you were designing stuff for your friends and other people to get tattooed, was that still the gem style stuff, or were you a bit more diverse?
I was trying to just do designs that filled their design brief, but it was very swirly, Mimsy 90s style as well. But I was on the dole, so I was also sort of trying to make money as well. So I was trying to, I was forming connections with people, just really just like I do now with designing. So yeah, it was great.
Yeah, amazing. So from that, say that initial tattoo and that encouragement from Don to start drawing flash, what was the progression from that led you to, say, getting an apprenticeship?
Well, at that point, I had an absolute epiphany. I knew I had to tattoo. Like, it was like the most incredible moment, like a religious
Struck
experience.
by lightning.
There was no question that I had to tattoo. So from there on, I put together a few sets of flash, and I got on foot and went to every single shop in Brisbane and sold sets of my flash, because that's what people did back then.
Yeah. And it was a way of, you know, getting your name out there and being known. What were some of the shops that you would have sold flash to back then?
I went to all of them, but probably the ones that stand out that I'll mention sort of became my friends as well. I went to High Energy. I went to Little Mick at High Energy. Yeah. And I went to Bean Lee Tattoo, and they were really, Darren was really supportive of me back then as well. And I went to Chloe at Maruka. And all those guys were so supportive of me in those early days.
Cool. Yeah, so cool. Well, I think even back then, like, there wouldn't have been that many female tattooers around. Like, probably you would have had like Robin Braniff down on the Gold Coast. Raylene Robinson would have still been around, or, you know, still tattooing. Like, not being a Queenslander, but I did spend some time there. Like, who else was around in that period that were female tattooers?
That is a good question. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to offend anyone, because I'm sure there would have been. I guess I more sort of think of my peers that were sort of coming into it at the same time as me. But yeah, much respect, because I'm sure there would have been plenty of female tattooers around, but not as many as there are now, that's for sure.
Yeah. So going through those shops, where did you start your apprenticeship with, and how did that door crack open?
So I was working, eventually I got a job at a screen printing company in Brisbane called Aftermath Screen Printing,
Oh,
with Mal. Yep.
yes. Yep.
Um,
Amazing.
yeah, so Mal and his then wife were really supportive of me, and I was designing screen printing, designing shirts for them as well.
Yep.
That was incredible because I met people like Bruce Liddell and Little Mick and
Yep.
Don. They were all really good friends of theirs.
Yep.
So I think I was at a party at Aftermath once, and they introduced me to Bernie
Yep.
Olszewski. So
Yep.
he owns Wild at Heart in the city
Yep.
of Brisbane. Yeah. So
Yeah, cool.
he offered me to come along and work there. And that's where I started. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Like, and Wild at Heart still is, but when it first opened, it was a bit of a groundbreaking shop in Charlotte Street. Like I remember walking in there when I was maybe 20, like climbing up the stairs. I think Bernie wasn't there. Joe O'Brien was there tattooing. Like they had the dentist chairs, the black and white checker floors, the big American flag. And I was like, man, this is so cool.
That Charlotte Street shop was beautiful. And it was such a moment in time. It was so amazing. I got to work with some incredible tattooers. How lucky that I ended up there, because I got to work with Matt and Judd and Loz and Caleb, and it was crazy times. It was really, and we were really young and sort of partying a lot, and it was a real scene. And I'm really grateful for my time there.
Yeah, amazing. And I imagine like close to Fortitude Valley, because Fortitude Valley was kind of like the King's Cross area of Sydney, where a lot of bars, music was happening. Like, would that be correct?
Yeah, we all hung out there quite a lot back in the early 2000s. Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah, amazing. So what was your apprenticeship like? Like Bernie put you through like a bit of a structured thing, or was it like a community that everyone helped you along the way, or thrown in the deep end?
Yeah, I would say thrown in the deep end.
Awesome.
Yeah, literally.
Awesome.
At that time, a lot of ships were coming into town, and we were the first people that they came to because we were in the city. So I had only done a couple of tattoos before they lobbed up, and there's literally hundreds of them. Like something that you hear about. Like it was like it was great, and they were great practice because you know I knew that I was never going to see them again. But Bernie himself, he's very very old school guy and very quiet guy. So he himself didn't so much mentor me. It was more the people around me, like Matt Dard and all the other people that came through the shop at the time. So yeah,
because it was a shop that like had a good rotation of guest artists as well, I imagine.
Yeah, a lot of international artists and just so many people, so many incredible artists. And when I started out, actually, Brian Graydon was there as well.
Oh wow!
So yeah,
super cool. How long were you at Wild at Heart for?
I was there for 3 years.
And then nice.
And then all my friends were leaving me, and they formed West Side Tattoo. So they shifted over to West End, and I tagged along with them after.
Amazing.
They might have been open maybe 6 months to a year, and I followed them because they were my mentors.
Maybe you can help me on this. Obviously, through the history thing, like I know Matt's the owner of Westside, but initially was Don Johnson involved?
Initially, as far as I can tell, it was Don and Judd. Legend has it that Don tattooed for a day or two and was just like, no, it's too inner city. It's too funky and crazy for my sort of, my experience. So he left, and then it was Judd. And then Carl came in, who used to own Punctured Body Piercing.
Yep.
I don't know if you... So then Carl came in as a partner, and then Matt came in, and then it was Matt on his own.
Cool. There you go. A little bit of a history lesson. That's awesome. Awesome. Cool. And then, because I believe, did Matt do your sleeve, the one with the big ship on it?
Yeah.
Oh, both. There you go.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And how old are they? They're
20 years old, and they've never had a touch up. Look at that color.
Yeah, amazing.
Look at that. He's insane.
That blue. So cool. So cool.
I was so lucky to work alongside Matt for so many years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not that you've asked this question, but yeah, I attribute a lot of my knowledge and everything to him. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. He's had such a stellar career and a hand in bringing, even to this day, so many younger artists to the forefront. They've got a lot to be thankful for. Just spending time around him. It's amazing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's definitely played a big part in my growth of my career, for sure.
So cool. So cool. And then how long did your period work that you stayed at Westside for?
Well, all up, it was 7 years, but I did have...
That's a good stint.
Yeah, but I did have a baby in that time, and I had a year off. So, I was working a little bit, but so yeah, 7 years at West End, at West, couple of different locations. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, cool. So at that time as well, were you going to any conventions or anything, like in Australia or overseas? I know you went to the Japan convention in 2000, the Tokyo one.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
Well, I traveled over there with my sister, and I had no preconceived idea what the convention would be, but I just turned up. I bought my portfolio because so cringy.
Yeah. No, not at all.
Just networking, and it was so crazy. All the tattoo gods were there. Philip Blue. Everyone was there. All the big names, and I was really lucky because during the time I was there, I was just walking down the streets in Tokyo with my family, and I ran into my friends Matt and who we were just talking about, and Josh and another friend Duncan, and they were with the editor of a tattoo magazine called Burst magazine.
Tattoo Burst, yeah.
Yeah, so he was with them, and they were like, "What are you doing, Mimsy? Come with us. We're about to do the most epic tattoo tour of Tokyo." And I was like, I said no, actually. And then we ran into them again, and they talked me into it. And so the next 2 days was the most incredible tour of tattooing in Japan. Meeting and getting to watch traditional tattooing at Haruwaka Studio and Horiyoki Studio. And we went to a lot of book publishing companies because my friend was buying a lot of books. He was buying dozens of these really beautiful tattooing books. And so we went to these publishing houses, and we got to meet the people who were publishing the books. And it was a really amazing time. And I'm so lucky that I ran into them on the street that day.
Yeah, I think it was meant to be.
Yeah.
And that's a time again when there was, not really Facebook or Instagram or anything, or probably even MySpace.
I don't think there was anything.
Yeah. So I think that was the tattoo gods looking after you all.
I got lost on the way to the convention, and I had to try and figure out how to use a public phone in Tokyo. It was a mess. I was crying. But it all turned out okay. But that
so good, but what amazing.
So cool. Everyone was smoking ciggies. There's just a haze of smoke. Were you there, Rhys?
I wasn't. I wasn't. I was in London. I couldn't afford to come over, so I was but got it. So I'm living that dream trip through everyone else that I know that went there.
Oh, I've got some great photos. I'll have to show you one day.
Well, you know what? Adam Kraft, who's in New Zealand, he has an Instagram page called, I think it is Tokyo Tattoo Convention. So check it out, because I'm pretty sure you might even feature in it. Someone's uploaded some stuff. Duncan's put some photos up. So I'm sure he'd be super grateful if you uploaded some pictures, and he'll credit you to it, because it was like a groundbreaking convention.
I'm going to find that. That convention was so inspiring. The energy, everyone was just there to share their art. Everyone was walking around with hardly any clothes on because they just wanted to show everyone their tattoos. There was no ego. It was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, so cool, so cool. So, what have you been to other conventions overseas as well, or because I know you would have done the Viva Las Vegas stuff?
Oh yeah. So I worked at it's like a rockabilly convention called Viva Las Vegas. And that was amazing because
that's in the old town.
It was held at the Gold Coast Hotel.
Okay.
It's not on, but I'm not sure. Yeah. So I worked there, and it's awesome because that's my passion. That's my people, you know. So it's really cool. And we do have some similar festivals in Australia, but you know the 50s American culture, you know, it's nothing like it. So
it's the home of it, the Holy Grail.
Yeah, I don't think I've worked at too many other conventions except for New Zealand. But I did do a 3-month stint in San Fran when I was heaps younger. And I guess working with Matt and chatting with Duncan and our dear friend Emil so much about San Francisco and how it was such a mecca of tattooing, it really inspired me. I was like, I have to check this place out. So I went over there and tattooed for a few months at a few different shops.
Tell us about that story, because that's an interesting one that will be so irrelevant to people today. Like how you had a job or you didn't have a job and then you had to get a couple of jobs.
Yeah, so I had a job lined up at Berkeley, which is just over the bridge from San Fran. I literally, it was all organized, and I literally turned up there and they said, oh, I'm so sorry, we don't actually have any work for you. So I'd come all the way from Australia, ready for tatting at this place. Anyway, whatever. I spent the next 2 weeks on foot in San Fran looking for a job. I went to every studio in San Fran.
Amazing.
And I was only 20, so I don't know what people must have. But I ended up having to get, I ended up getting 3 different jobs at the same time. So I alternated every week. I'd do like a couple of days at each shop.
Wow.
And one of them was really cool because it was opposite Tattoo City at the time. Actually, I think it's still there. Lyle Tuttle's shop.
Yeah. Amazing. That's a very, very good shop. Yeah. On Lombard it is, I think, just over the road.
Yeah. So they're sort of diagonal opposite. So I'd just sit at the counter at Lyle Tuttle's shop and just watch Tattoo City, and I'd be like, oh, it's so cool. And I did get tattooed there. I got tattooed by Jeff Whitehead while I was there. And
wow.
So that was really cool. Yeah, great experience, and partying with all the San Fran tattooers. And one awesome thing that I should mention I did when I was there, I got tattooed by Chris Conn, who was such an idol of mine at the time. So we went into Freddie's shop, Temple Tattoo, and that was an amazing experience getting to meet all those guys. And they just had this like real fancy famous tattoo crew. I can't even remember the names right now, but it was pretty mind-blowing for me. I don't know what they
phenomenal. And but just would have been very hospitable, because back then, like I went to the UK in '95, and when I first went there, like there was nothing. So I think, you know, Bev had written a letter for me to Lal Hardy introducing to me. But other than that, I went to the local phone box, found the yellow pages and ripped out the page of tattooing. The column was like maybe 15 shops, and you just went around to it. So I think back then people really appreciated the effort that you made to like get out. It's not like now there's no Expedia or lastminute.com. There was nothing. It was pretty raw. And I think a lot of people view Aussies as pretty mad adventurers because we're from so far away. So I think they just generally intrigued by us, and that opens the door.
Yeah, I still appreciate that. If someone turns up at the studio rather than even calling or emailing and just coming in, I still rate that. I'm still quite old fashioned like that. But yeah, I think those guys, especially at Temple Tattoo, I'm pretty sure they rolled their eyes and were like, "Oh, another tattoo tourist." Because it was such a. I think they even said that, but it's so cool. And Freddie's so cool. It was just great to be.
Like, did you in all that time? Did you ever go to Diamond Club and meet Bill Salmon and his wife Junie?
I'm not sure. I don't think I went to Diamond Club.
Yeah.
But actually, the last time I was in San Fran, my husband and I happened to be there on the last day of Henry Goldfield's shop.
Wow. Yep.
So they were having like a big flash day, and it was
wow.
We just happened to be there.
Meant to be again.
And so we got to meet Henry, and Lyle was there. All the tattooers in San Fran were there to say goodbye to him. Yep. And we just happened to be there. So, but I didn't go to Diamond.
Yep. Now the $1 million question: did you meet Ed Hardy?
No.
There you go. That's one of my dreams.
I'm really shy, and actually, he did meet Doug a couple of times. And he was so lovely. He offered to take us to his dad's art studio and show us paintings and stuff. Wow. But I said no, because I was just so nervous. And I'm quite funny. I get really anxious. But he did offer, and I'm such an idiot. I should have accepted the offer.
Well, next time you just have to remind him.
He seems like a great guy.
He is. Yeah, he's a lovely guy. So Duncan's just written in here, I remember I had to convince you, what a trip. It was the Japanese Tattoo Institute who published all the Horiyoshi books. And they had his original portfolio. So yeah, what an amazing time that was. So
hi Duncan, all right. You're a legend. I owe it all to you.
He's done so much good, Duncan. So let me just go back to my questions, because remember when I said to you, like, it's going to go quick? We're nearly at the halfway mark. Oh. Yeah. So then talk to us about, like, Trailer Trash, how that began, and it's been through a few different locations as well. Is that correct?
Yeah. So it started, I left Westside because I had a little baby, like a newborn baby, and I wanted to be able to work from home. So I did. I set up a studio out the back of my house. I had a granny flat.
Amazing.
And, it was all health department approved and everything.
Yeah.
So I was working from home, and actually Matt was my first ever tattoo I did there. He's so supportive. Yes. And so I was working from home, and around the same time, I think I bought a vintage caravan. It would have been 2008, I think. I bought my dream trailer around the same time, and I had this amazing idea. I love 50s caravans, and I love tattooing. Hello, tattooing.
There you go. Yeah. So you've created such an iconic thing.
So I was occasionally tattooing in my caravan, which was also health department approved, by the way. And so I named my business Trailer Trash Tattoo because that's what it was. And also the idea behind that also for me was Trailer Trash, sort of like take it or leave it. I'm not saying I'm the best or anything. I'm not even saying I'm good or perfect. Just take it or leave it. So that was sort of the vibe of the name. And then so I worked from home for 3 years, I think. And
Yep.
it was crazy. Like, I was smashed. I was booked out 2 years in advance.
Wow.
But it was just me.
Yep.
And so, you know, being the businesswoman I am, I suppose, I was
Yep.
like, well, what, I should capitalize on this, I suppose,
For
right?
sure. Yep.
I was getting a little bit bored. I wanted some inspiration again.
Yep.
And I can't do guest spots because I get really anxious. So I thought,
Yep.
if I get more people into my studio, that's a good alternative to me having to go to other people. I'll just get
Yep.
them to come to me.
Yep.
So
amazing.
So I moved from my home studio to a it was actually a aircraft hangar in
Is that in
Archerfield.
Archerfield? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was at an airport.
Wow.
Yeah. So the idea behind that was we had 3 vintage 50s caravans, and we wanted them all in the space.
Yep.
So it was like an experience. So you could come and see like a museum of caravans.
Yep.
And up on the mezzanine level was tattooing, overlooking the trailer park.
Yep.
So
wow. Yeah, and I think that's huge. And I think, you know, naturally you were just going down that road before things became an experience, just because of your lifestyle and your love of caravans and, you know, everything that goes with it.
yeah, I never thought about doing anything really for anyone other than my own enjoyment.
Yep.
and my
Perfect.
husband, our passion.
Yep.
We've always just followed our heart, even when
Yep.
it was ridiculous. Like, even when we knew we'd probably lose money, or
Yep.
you know, it would be really hard, or people might not accept it. We just
Yep.
always just followed our heart and
Yep.
see what happened. Yeah.
That's amazing. And it's, yeah, I get that as well. You do it, like, you don't do things for money, you do it for the love of it. And if it costs you money to do it, so what? Like, you know, it'll be there in the end. That's not your main motivation. It's to do something unique and yeah, be true to yourself, which is empowering.
Thank you. Yeah, I think with creative things like art, if you do it for the passion, then people will gravitate to that, and the other things will flow away.
Yeah.
So we were at Archerfield for, I think it might have been 6 years. But it was completely impractical. It was nowhere near anything. Like, it was in the middle of nowhere. So we did good to keep the place going for as long as we did. And other tattooers seemed to really love the idea, because we got some really amazing guest artists in at that time too. My friends Toby Gawler and Jovic and Rat Corpse and Kirk Jones came and did a guest spot, and so many people wanted to see what was going on, you know. So I think we were there 5 or 6 years, and then we decided, my husband Pony and I decided, we needed to get back to the people, like get a bit more closer to public transport. And we were going to open a street shop, but then we found the space that we're in now, and we fell in love with it. And it's basically just a big old Queenslander building.
Amazing.
It's a house. It's a Queenslander house. So
cool.
We've been at it's beautiful. We've been at our current location for 5 years. And
from what I've seen, I have to get there at some point, but from what I've seen, it's so, it's like purposely decked out, like to a T, you know, reflects everything about you both. And I know you've got separate rooms for artists as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, at the moment we've got 2 levels. So we've got 4 artists downstairs and 4 artists upstairs, and downstairs is just one big room, and the guys love that work down there. And then upstairs, some of us share a room, and then Swazi and I have our own room. Amazing.
And I imagine, just to go back to the caravan, like, you know, you've taken that thing all over Australia, or at least up and down the East Coast. Like, I've seen it at conventions in Sydney. Have you
Yeah.
ever taken it down to Melbourne?
Yes. Yep. I used to tattoo
Wow.
at Melbourne Grease Fest when they had it a couple of times,
Yep.
and that was really fun. It's even been up to Longreach. My friend Tennille, love you. We
Yep.
we tattooed at we were involved in a failed reality TV show, and the
Yep.
caravan was the star. So it's been up to
Wow.
Longreach. Yep. And yeah, that's a whole nother story. Yeah, but fun fact, I just sold the trailer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
The end of an
crazy.
era.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy. Well, I'm lucky enough to have Tennille's going to be on over the weekend, so we can ask her about that as well. So there's, you know, both you girls are probably from a similar era and both powerhouses in the industry. So it's going to be great for a lot of younger artists to hear your stories as well. So
I love Neil.
oh, she's the best. She's the best. So
Yeah.
talking about love, tell us about the love story of you and Pony and how it all began, because you guys are an impeccable team and you just complement each other, and what you've both accomplished together is amazing.
Oh, thank you for asking. And it's
Yeah.
true. He is the man behind the woman, and you know,
Yeah.
I couldn't have done any of it without. I know that sounds weird, but I really couldn't have, because I'm the creative one, and he's the more business-minded one. But also, please note that he's just as passionate about tattooing and tattoo history as I am. So when I met Pony, my husband Pony, I swapped him a tattoo to play at my wedding to someone else.
There you go. There you go.
Right. But there was nothing weird. There was no romantic intent at all. So I swapped him a tattoo. So his band, the Slingshots, played at my wedding, which was at a bowling alley. And we also had a really cool rockabilly band playing. Anyway, and then we ended up having a mutual best friend for like the next 10 years. And then when I split up with my then husband, he called me up straight away, like 5 minutes after he heard I'd split up with him, and asked me out on a date. So
wise man.
Yeah. So he's amazing, and he's so creative as well, and we are a good team.
Yeah, so cool. And like, because he does a lot of like, you know, like collects a lot of vintage stuff and sells it as well, like loves his record collection. And I remember talking to you both about, because in the studio, didn't you buy a lot of old flash off, I think it was John Nash?
Yes.
The old Sporting and Rogers sheets?
Yeah, Pony puts me to shame when it comes to his tattoo history knowledge. He's really fascinated by it, and actually, as you said, he is a collector of many things. But yeah, he really clutched onto tattoo history, and he's great to have around at tattoo conventions and meeting other tattooers, because he's much more knowledgeable about history than I am.
So let's talk a little bit about your style of tattooing and the evolution of it, because like for me, you know, anyone to have an instantly recognizable style is so rare, and you're one of them. So, you know, like when you're at Wild at Heart and then went to Westside, were you focusing on the more traditional aspects of tattooing?
That's so nice of you to say that, because that is a compliment.
I'm sure everyone here will agree. It's very true.
Thank you. When I started out, my style was very recognizable as that swirly tribal gem Mimsy 90s style, and actually, I really paved a way with that, which you probably don't even know about. But then
I've got tattoo candy here, don't worry.
I don't know how to answer that question. I've never set out to intentionally really do anything, except I'm just always really ambitious and thinking about the next thing, and you know,
Yep.
trying to get out what's in my head.
Yep. Yeah. I think that's one of the things. Like, you just have to look at your Instagram page. Like, apart from the amazing tattoos, you're always sketching as well. Like the tiger one recently with lockdown, and even when Sydney went into lockdown, you did a nice little sketch, you know, for us, that sort of thing. So I imagine you're like, are you continually drawing, or you've got, do you set aside a time every day, or what's the sort of routine?
Yeah, I'm loving the COVID art, by the way, because I'm quite a sarcastic person. And I feel like people need that kind of relief at the moment.
Yep. Yep.
Painting and drawing is like breathing and eating to me. I have to do it.
Yep.
It's my joy in life. When I'm
Yep.
here at my desk, I like that reality better than the real reality.
Yeah. Well, you know, you're lucky. You're in a position, like a friend of mine told me 20 odd years ago. He went, man, you can create your own reality. And it is pretty true, of like, you know, your surroundings, your circle of friends, like your workspace, all this sort of stuff. So yeah, your reality is real.
Yeah, well, if you can dream it, you can do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just try not to. Instagram is hard. I try not to look at other people's tattooing too much, even, because I don't want to be too influenced by things. I want to that's why a lot of my art probably just looks all the same, because I'm not really using much reference most of the time. I'm just drawing what comes into my head.
Amazing. Yep. But that's also, I think that's also, you know, a culmination of all your years experience, absorbing so much imagery over the years, and that sort of thing. Like, you know, same for myself, like, you know, I'll draw a koi in water. I don't have to look at one. A lot of it's probably repetition, and there's the 10,000 hours or the 10,000 movements sort of thing that, you know, once you reach those pinnacles of whether it be martial arts or something else, the rest just sort of flows. And, you know, that's maybe one way of explaining it.
That makes sense.
maybe. Yeah.
I'm not sure if I answered the question. I'm sorry.
No, it is a really hard question to do it. And if I was put on the spot for me, I probably wouldn't know how to answer it either. Some do, some don't. There's no right or no wrong. So speaking of artwork, like, you have an amazing backdrop behind you. Can you give us a little look of what you've got there, and even any artwork you've got, and, you know, so some people can see what you've been doing in lockdown that hasn't made it to the gram yet?
Yes. I've been painting canvases again lately. It's so pleasing, the feeling of the texture of the paint. So I'll show you some paintings that I had in the Grease Fest art show on the weekend, but it got locked down. So
was that first day or something?
Lockdown was announced on yesterday at 4 o'clock. Yeah,
and then everyone just scrambled. Wow.
So I really like hot rod art, but I like to make it super cheesy and girly.
Yep. So cool. Yeah, are you using acrylics or? No, it's amazing. But simple is so difficult. There's nowhere to hide. Oh, there we go. Awesome.
So these are like hot rod inspired, you know, like.
Yep.
But also during lockdown, I started doing one stroke flower painting.
Ah. Wow.
So it's quite tricky how it gets that beautiful effect, isn't it?
Yeah, so crazy. And beautiful, like obviously that color palette there is, and the previous ones are very so much like your tattoo palette.
Hang on, I've got more.
Oh, mate, we're waiting. This is so cool. Oh, wow.
So I just did these ones. I just finished them maybe a week ago.
Yeah.
And they're just purely for fun. Like there's no.
Whoa. Yeah. So talk us through something like that, Mimsy. How long would one of these canvases take you?
I don't pay
Hard
attention to that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it doesn't look like forever. You're incredibly productive. Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, I have
But
been in
also,
the past. Yeah, it's hard
yes.
it's hard to stay in it sometimes.
Yeah.
But usually I just get lost in it. And like I said, I prefer this reality of my pen and paper to the real world. Yeah, it's just my escape from the stress of life.
Yeah. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. So a few people have just commented as well. So if people want to buy paintings from you, are these for sale, or can people do commissions?
Everything's for sale.
Awesome. Yeah. Spoken like a true businesswoman.
I never used to sell my original art for years. For years. I was so precious about it. Yeah. But now I'm happy to I just want other people to enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah. It is hard.
But I do have an Etsy store.
Oh, okay. Cool. Cool.
Yeah. Just type in Trailer Trash Tattoo on Etsy.
Okay. Amazing. Yeah. That is a hard one. Like, I've got a lot of all my early stuff, and, you know, you become very self-conscious, and you're, you know, embarrassed and shy and all the rest of it. And it's hard to let it go or even to sell it to someone. So a few years ago, I ended up just doing like giveaways, give it away for free, because I didn't think it was worthy of currency exchange. And that sort of freed me up to not be so precious. And like you said, let other people enjoy it.
How do you put a price on art?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's worth nothing, and then it's also worth everything.
For sure. For sure.
It's so crazy. It's so frivolous and pointless.
Yeah.
But then again, it's everything. That's part of being human, is to be creative, to enjoy art. So. Yeah.
Yeah. So have you branched out into the NFT world of art?
I don't even know what that means.
I'm just trying to show off and sound fancy. I've only just stumbled across it. So just Google it, but I'm sure your art will go down well in it. It's some sort of online thing where I think people buy a digital copy of your artwork or the rights to it. So yeah, it's probably something to explore.
Have you heard of a tattoo ticket? No.
No.
I've only just become aware of this. So they're calling it a tattoo ticket, and you design their tattoo, but they take it to another tattooer to get it tattooed. But so they've bought it and they have your permission to use it. Okay. I think it's like a new thing. So yeah.
Well, remember there used to be that Tattoo Johnny, where people would go and buy cheesy armbands and all that sort of stuff, like 15 odd years ago. So yeah, well, that's cool. That's cool. So talking of digital stuff, like, you've obviously pretty good with an iPad as well, would be fair to say.
Self-taught. I still feel like I'm pretty new at it. And the thing that I thought would happen has happened, and that is it's ruined the other part of my brain. Like, I can't do both. Like, I'm either like fully into iPad mode and like doing stuff there every day, or I'm painting. Like doing both. Yeah, it's kind of grotesque to me, the iPad, but it's also amazing. And art is progress. So I've tried to embrace it.
Yeah, you have to. And like, you know, coming from, you know, we're of a similar sort of era of tattooing where we've seen all the changes from, you know, the secrets were guarded very, very much, where now it's a free-for-all. And, you know, we've got access to so many great machines and needles and inks and that sort of thing. So, you know, it is all out there. So just quickly talking about machines, are you using coils or are you using rotaries?
I'm using both. I'm using at the moment, and actually for the last few years, I have used the same Toby Rhys machines.
Nice.
They're really good, actually. I like them. Yeah, they're just real
good last name.
Punchy, yeah. And I've been using the same Bishop rotary for like 6 years. But
cool.
I want to try something new. I need new machines. You have to get new machines at least every year, don't you?
Yeah. Well, if there's any quality tattoo supply people out there watching, here's your chance to send some to Mimsy for like a trial run. There you go.
Me and me, both of us.
And mate, yeah, obviously. Is there any other color?
I just bought a wand.
The bishop.
Well, it's not a bishop. It's just like a fake cheap one.
Nice.
It's horrible.
Yeah, it's hard. Like I battle, like I used swash drives for a long time, and I've for outlining for 12, 13 years, and I've now, because I had weak wrists, and now I've got some coils again, and I'm back and forward, and I miss the buzz of coil machines, but yeah, it does from our era. It does sort of feel like you're cheating a little bit with the wands, you know. But
I saw Matthew Cunnington use one on his Instagram, and I messaged him straight away. I'm like, Matt, what is that thing? And so I ordered one straight away. But I can't get it.
Mate, you've got it. Yeah, and that's back to progression. So, speaking of progression, can you talk us through the current lineup of artists at Trailer Trash, please?
Well, first of all, I'll start with Clayton because he's been there the longest now. Clayton Drew. I'm not sure if you've seen his work.
Yep.
Amazing. In fact, he's done the last 6 tattoos that I've gotten.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Yeah. Just
awesome.
Beautiful. His work is amazing. And, he did my chest as well. So he's been there the longest. And then who else was? So we've got Marlon, who was our shop apprentice, who's also doing really beautiful work now. And then we adopted Connor, who was working in the city, and now he's working with us, and we love him.
Yep.
And we also have Kyle, who recently came to us too, who does really beautiful work. And upstairs we have Swasti, who does beautiful, you would have seen her work, it's amazing. Full body traditional Indian collar tattooing.
Very ornamentally nice lines, and such crazy beautiful work.
It's so good. And then we have Allegra, who does beautiful sort of folky traditional mostly black work. And we recently adopted Miami, who was working at Whiskey Lane. And I think that's it. Oh my God, if I've forgotten someone, I'm going to be in trouble. I think that's it.
No, it happens. Like, you know, but you've had and still have such an amazing crew, and like it's a credit to the people past, present, and also future that are going to work, you know, at Trailer Trash. Like everyone helps create the energy and grows and learns from it. So it's super cool.
Thank you. Yeah, we've been really lucky. You know what it's like. People come and go. Totally good and healthy too.
For sure. That's like I say to artists when they first start with me, I'm like, you know, you're not going to be here forever. The only thing that's going to stay the same here is me, you know, and I kind of hope for 2 things. You go on and do your own thing, or you go and find equal or a better, more encouraging studio for you, or whatever works for you. And if that happens, you know, we've all done an amazing thing for each other and learned and done great for tattooing.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a good attitude to have. And usually if you have that attitude, people tend to stick around anyway, because it feels like less pressure, I suppose, anyway. Yeah, totally.
So any future projects on the horizon, or?
You know what? I was just thinking, because I've had this flurry of canvas painting where I've literally painted 10 canvases in the space of like 3 weeks.
Wow. Yep.
I did start a painting today, but apart from that, I don't really have there's nothing, I haven't got anything, but I do have a very exciting collab coming up in a couple of months that I can't specifically talk about, but I will just say it's a highlight of my artistic life, and it's with a very famous Australian accessories company. That's all I'm gonna say.
Amazing.
A couple of months.
Yeah. So ready for summer.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's a big deal for me. So
totally. Yeah. So cool. So cool. Before I go into like my favorite questions to, you know, finish up tonight, have you got any shout outs or anything you want to say, or you can remember? And you don't have to, because I am putting you on the spot.
Yeah, that's really hard because I don't want to leave anyone out. But you know, I've been so lucky. I've crossed paths with so many amazing tattooers and people who've helped me. You know, as I've mentioned his name so many times, Matthew Cunnington is, you know, I'm always going to shout out to him. Everyone who's helped me on my way. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So I'm just going to read this one out. Sam Rules has just left a comment saying, I look up to Mimsy so much because she does everything with so much heart, humility, and never apologizes or bends herself to fit into what the majority are doing. Pure feminine power. Like, I think that sums you up in a nutshell. Yep.
You're a legend, Sam. Thank you so much. And I think all of that could be said for you as well. But yeah, who wants to fit into a majority? I just actually don't even care what other people are doing.
And
but
you know,
Sam, legend.
Yeah, mate, actually I'm going to message Sam after this because I know she's been watching a few of these and commenting, so there's not that much of a time difference. Hopefully we can get Sam on, so that would be cool. So
you need to do that.
All right, so we're going to bring it.
Can I just mention Melanie Milne also, because she's a beautiful angel and I love her so much. Yeah. And hi,
she's so cool, so cool. All right, we're going to bring it up, everyone, with sort of like some favorite little cheesy questions and lighthearted stuff. So what's your favorite cocktail, Mimsy? Lovely.
I don't drink alcohol.
All right, amazing, Sam. But you're double fisting. You got 2 drinks on the go.
This one's fake, and this one's real.
All right. So
I don't drink alcohol, but I love kombucha. It gives me a buzz.
Nice. Yeah.
Because I've been sober for like nearly 10 years, so when I drink kombucha, it gives me that buzz.
Like a natural high.
Yeah.
All right. What's your favorite color?
Leopard print.
Nice. All right. What's your favorite style of music? Hard one.
How do you answer that?
Exactly. All right. Oh, this is equally as hard. What's your favorite band?
That's impossible.
What about the Slingshots?
Oh my god. Yes, my husband's band. Yeah, I love rockabilly. I love the Cramps, and I love pop punk and grunge, and there's so many I love. I couldn't. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. So this is it. I'll word this differently. What's one of your favorite foods?
One of chocolate.
Nice. What's your go-to takeaway meal?
I don't eat meat or dairy, so that's a bit tricky because I live in Ipswich and there's not really much out here. But where, I don't know, probably just like vegan Asian food.
Yep. Yeah, cool. What's your favorite holiday or one of your favorite holiday destinations?
That I've been to? I love tropical, so
Yep.
Hawaii. I've been to Hawaii. I tattooed in Hawaii for a while.
Oh, wow. Tell us a bit about that quickly.
Yeah, well, I was in San Fran, and we were like, well, why don't we just go to Hawaii? Because it's only like half an hour on the plane. And
Yep.
my friend, AJ Trainer, was, yeah, again, I think it was Emil that hooked this up for me, a job in Honolulu. And so, yeah, I just flew to Honolulu, and I sat the test. I actually got my license while I was there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They have like a laminated license. I don't know if we have that. Do we have that? Anyway, yeah, so I tattooed in Hawaii for a month.
Cool.
But,
cool. Did you go past Sailor Jerry's shop?
Oh, it shut the week before I arrived.
Oh,
I'm not
gutted.
I'm not. Oh, so gutted. Can't believe it. But I did actually get given a dice, which apparently he had sitting on his workstation all the time. So I have,
mad.
And I also bought a stencil that he had, an engraved, what are they called?
The acetates on the plastic.
Yeah, acetate. Yeah, I bought one of them when I was in Tokyo off Mike Malone.
Oh, how cool.
I am.
Yeah, look,
I've just changed
like
the subject.
You've had such a charmed life, like doing all of this stuff, meeting all of these old school legends, and things just seem meant to be, like from initially just doing that drawing, meeting Don Johnson, then that lightning bolt moment of I need to tattoo, this is what I'm going to do, and finding rockabilly. It's so cool. And anyway, so quickly, all right, what's one of your favorite images to tattoo?
Girls' faces.
There we go. All right. And a favorite tea or coffee?
Tea and decaf coffee.
Nice. Nice. I was gonna end up with what's one of your favorite tattoo artists, but I know that's a difficult one.
It is, but I have to say, it's always been a goal of mine to move into doing my style, but with a kawaii Japanese flavor.
Yep.
Like a sabado or like kawaii tattooing, but like with like full scale body, like bodysuit style.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think no, but I think it's probably only a matter of time until that happens for you, because it seems to be whatever you set your mind to, your determination and love and everything, it's just a matter of time until that does happen.
Thank you, Rhys.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, everyone, let's wrap it up here tonight, but I really appreciate this, Mimsy, at short notice. It's been an absolute joy for me, and I can tell you've enjoyed yourself, and I'm sure everyone else has as well.
Thank you, Rhys. Like, seriously, what you are doing for the Australian tattoo industry at the moment is amazing, and bringing us all together like this and just sharing stories is an amazing thing, and I'm really grateful. Thank you.
No, it's my pleasure. I'm honored to be able to do it, and I'm so thankful that people want to be part of it. It's an important thing. So cool. All right, so lastly but not least, where can people contact you and your studio? What's the best way?
Trailer Trash Tattoo on Instagram, and my Instagram is Stay Cute or Die.
Yep. Amazing. All right. See you, Mimsy. See you, everyone. See ya.